Some content has been edited and censored for legal reasons from the SCP agency. Select information has been held from public hearings such as classified locations and names. The SCP Foundation. Secure. Contain. Protect.
The SCP Agency is a secret organization made up of doctors, agents, and scientists located in undisclosed locations around the world, whose job is to understand, analyze, and document classified objects, and furthermore, making sure they don't fall into the wrong hands. SCP objects are placed into 3 different categories, depending on their specific safety measure. Safe, an understood and non-lethal object or entity, whose purpose is not to inflict harm upon others or itself. Euclid, a not very well-known object that may cause a security breach if left alone or unattended. Object or person may be unpredictable and also may pose a mild threat. Keter, dangerous objects and entities that will do harm unless under constant surveillance. Perhaps if failed to do so under this category, will end up in a completely end-of-the-world scenario. SCP-096. Object Class: Euclid. SCP-096 is to be contained in its cell, a 5 meter by 5 meter by 5 meter steel cube, at all times. Weekly checks of any cracks or holes are mandatory. There are to be absolutely no video surveillance or optical tools of any kind inside of SCP-096's cell. Security personnel will use pre-installed pressure sensors and laser detectors to ensure SCP-096's presence inside the cell 24/7, under constant surveillance. Any and all photos and video or recordings of SCP-096's likeness are strictly forbidden without approval from Dr. and 057. SCP-096 is a humanoid creature measuring approximately 2.38 meters in height. Subject shows very little muscle mass. Arms are grossly out of proportion and the rest of the subject's body with approximate length of 1.5 meters each. Skin is mostly devoid of pigmentation with no signs of any body hair. SCP-096's jaw can open up to 4 times the norm of the average human. Other facial features remain similar to an average human, with the exception of the eyes, which are completely devoid of any pigmentation or color. It is not known yet whether SCP-096 is blind or not. It shows no sign of any higher brain functions, and is not considered to be sane. SCP-096 is normally extremely calm, with pressure sensors inside its cell indicating it spends most of the day pacing the eastern wall. However, when someone views SCP-096's face, whether it be directly or via video recording or photograph, it will enter a stage of considerable emotional distress. SCP-096 will cover its face with its hands and begin screaming, crying, and babbling uncontrollably. Approximately 1 to 2 minutes upon viewing the said image, SCP-096 will begin running to the person who viewed its face and continue to kill. Due to the possibility of a mass chain reaction, including a breach of the Foundation security and large civilian losses to life, retrieval of subject should be considered alpha priority. SCP-096 is to be under security and constant surveillance 24/7. SCP-173. Object Class: Euclid. Item SCP-173 is to be kept in a locked container at all times. When personnel must enter SCP-173's container, no fewer than 3 may enter at any time, and the door is to be re-locked behind them. At all time, two persons must maintain direct eye contact with SCP-137 until all personnel have vacated and relocked the container. Move to Site-19. Origin is as of yet unknown. It is constructed from concrete and rebar, with traces of brand spray paint. SCP-173 is an animate of it extremely hostile. The object cannot move while within a direct line of sight. Line of sight must not be broken at any time with SCP-173. Personnel assigned to enter the container are instructed to alert one another before blinking. Object is reported to attacked by snapping of the neck at the base of the skull, or by strangulation. In the event of an attack, personnel are observed Class 4 hazardous object container procedures. Personnel report sounds of scraping stone, augmented within the container when no one is present inside. This is considered normal, and any change in this behavior should be reported to the acting HMCL supervisor on duty. The reddish-brown substances on the floor is a combination of feces and blood. The enclosure must be cleaned on a bi-weekly basis. SCP-847 is to be kept in a reinforced, modified humanoid containment chamber. For the purpose of ongoing behavioral studies, the room is to be fully furnished with a bed, dresser, couch, table, chair, full-length mirror, sink, shower, and a toilet. The floor of the chamber is to be constructed with 1 centimeter exposed beams of copper, which can be electrified remotely to a maximum of 50 kV potential. A 50 centimeter squared safe zone at the rear left corner of the containment chamber is to remain free of copper beams in the case of personnel inside containment during disabling of the SCP-847. No meals are to be provided. SCP-847 is a humanoid female mannequin, 156 centimeters tall and 27 kg in mass, constructed of human hair and an unknown composite fabric of polyester that shatters similar to the human bone. SCP-847 shows the presence of an internal structure resembling an incomplete set of bones, organs, and major blood vessels, composed of the same polymer. Small amounts of black, vile resin similar to plastic compounds leak from the eyes and damaged regions of the mannequin. SCP-847 is normally at some level of despair, with shattered areas of the torso, head, and limbs. SCP-847 is animate and moves in stiff motions while shattering to maintain balance. It demonstrates different behaviors depending on the sex and identifies gender of nearby humans. These behavioral patterns are grouped as Pattern Z, Pattern Y, and Pattern X. When not in direct eye contact with the mannequin when individuals are within said cell, the mannequin may begin flight and attack its victims without care, proceeding to murder and deform, taking the organs from the human bodies within the cell. SCP-847 is to be contained within a cell 24/7 under constant surveillance. SCP-1981 Object Class Safe. SCP-1981 is to be kept inside a secure video storage unit at the Media Archive of Site. When in use, SCP-1981 should not be removed from its casing or exposed to any strong magnetic source. A Betamax home video system and an analog television has been provided in Observation Theater 2 at Site 7, as well as video equipment to record viewings. SCP-1981 is a standard Betamax tape with "Ronald Reagan cut up while talking" has been handwritten on the sticker in felt pen tape. Laboratory analysis indicates that SCP-1981 is made up of ordinary material, and serial numbers correspond with the home cascade tapes produced in September of 1980. SCP-1981 was encountered by a filling clerk in the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in 1991, who upon watching it alerted the police, with the intent to find out the tape's creator. A low-level police investigation was conducted, at which the point of the Foundation was alerted and secured SCP-1981. Class A anonymitics were administered before would be notified. Further investigation of the library's recordings by the fundamental personnel failed to yield any leads on SCP-1981's origin. SCP-1981 appears to be a home video recording of former United States President Ronald Reagan delivering his Evil Empire speech to the National Association Twin Towers Hotel, Florida, Orlando, on 3/8/1983. However, at 1 minute and 10 seconds, the speech begins to divide heavily, eventually resembling to no speech ever been made by Ronald Reagan. Beginning at approximately 5 minutes, multiple insertions and cuts and wounds can be seen slowly inflicted, through no corresponding source of these wounds are visible. Despite suffering badly harm that would likely indicate an ordinary person, Reagan will continue to deliver his speech after his either vocal cords are severed at the tapes regarding static at 22 minutes and 34 seconds. Upon rewinding SCP-1981 and indicating playback, Reagan will deliver an entirely new speech, often completely different from the ones previously observed. Topics have included torture, ritual sacrifice, and more disturbing things. Trauma inflicted upon Reagan also appears to be devastated, with general mutation, and in roughly one of the even 7 viewings of SCP-1981, a figure clothed in black, robed, with a colonial hood, has been replaced at random member of Ronald Reagan's press detail, henceforth referred to SCP-1981-1. The significance of appearance of SCP-1981-1 is currently completely unknown. As of right now, there are only 7 documented recordings of individuals viewing the tape as of today. SCP-280 Object Class Keter. SCP-280 is to be contained in a 5x5 meter cell, and no equipment of any kind is to be left inside when staff are not present. Containment area is to be kept in total darkness at all times. Any items taken into the containment cell must be removed by staff at the end of the testing, and any staff entering into the containment must wear infracted goggles and to be equipped with an ID strobe and strong flashlight. In the event of an attack from SCP-280, all staff are to power on their flashlights and illumine the subject under the attack. No aggressive action is to be taken against SCP-280 at any given time, and staff are to keep 1 meter from SCP-280 at all times. Staff should continue to illuminate its subject until it retreats to a significant distance to allow the recovery of the subject of the attack. SCP-280 is a black, humanoid-shaped mass with 2 large white eyes on the head and 2 hands with very long, thin fingers. No feet or legs are visible. As the lower portion of the body appears to fade, no feet or legs are visible. As the lower portion of the body appears to fade away several centimeters from the ground. SCP-280 appears to be wholly composed of matter that can gain or lose conventional form. This matter is very black, with only the eyes showing out of any color, and when changing to a non-corporeal form, it looks much like smoke. SCP-280 will move slowly towards any human beings and attempt to attack them. SCP-280 appears no sense of human life. No limit has yet been found of this ability. This individual, or being, or entity. This entity will approach within 14 centimeters of the subject, and then use its hands to pull and tear the subject, causing massive physical trauma to the human being. The attack can last between 1 and 5 minutes, and will continue to do so until the death of the subject, at which point SCP-280 will expose its eyes, lose corporal form, and move to the next human. If no humans are present, SCP-280 will move and ball up against a wall or other structure until a human being is again present. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, then drop a like and also subscribe for more scary videos such as this every single day. And be sure to let me know what you think in the comment section below.